welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Well, it's summer's here, and we're enjoying it. It's one of our warmer days today. Okay, I'm doing 3 in a row, so a lot of these blood sugars are looking pretty much the same, but I'm doing things differently so that if someone is looking at these out of order, they'll be able to see how well of control I live with personally. Current blood sugar is 9.8. I'm 3.075 units. I've gone up from early this morning where I was a little bit low, and now I'm up over but hanging around. Okay. Time in range. We're at 57% time in range. 43 above. To me, that seems a little bit excessive. 57% time in range, and then average sugar is 10.2. So we have to work on this. This is not a great number. This can come down, and hopefully these two numbers, when you bring this down, this number will drop. Pretty simplistic. Today, we're going to discuss fighting for me. How well do I fight for me? And this is going to be a companion piece to a check-in, which will be the day after tomorrow's video. But here we go. So, fighting for me. Hey, I'm back. Now, I've been great on this channel, I feel, of supporting you and saying, you go, you can do it, get the help you need, fight for what you do. And then I thought, you know what? I'm terrible at fighting for me. If someone comes in and says, no, we're doing this, I won't fight. When we get heads on, I'm really kind of negative, and I sit there and I go, duh, 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 duh. But we should have great plans. In all the times, I've always had people say, oh, well, you're not doing things right. I can't form an idea when I'm put right at the nasal of things. Oh, well, I can't control. Well, yes, you can, but you really have to learn that your concerns are valid. And the biggest thing I ever learned about standing up and fighting for yourself is I was in the hospital when I was in the hospital for 9 months. Okay. And while I was there really wasn't anything for me. I was dropping like flies everywhere. And it was my pump that eventually saved me. But to get the sensors to work with the pump, I had to go through hoops. We'd get one, somebody would donate to me, and I'd use that for the week, and it was great. I could see my blood sugars. But to go out and to get approval from the BC government, at that time, the BC government would pay for pumps. They pay for this. They pay for the supplies. But the pump itself, or not the pump, the sensor that would go with the pump was considered to be an accessory. And I went through this with the social worker. Social worker on our ward would send off the request. It came back. We don't pay for anything like this. We went and we did an appeal. It came back and they said no. We went to a tribunal, and working with her to do this, we got so much more. We were so much more, and I was able to come up with an advice that I think has helped a lot of diabetics around, and it has changed their sort of thinking. And that is the provincial government said they weren't going to cover sensors because it is an accessory. I said accessories are something like a new case or sticker for my pump. It's not something that I need to live. So we won. We won on the basis that it was a sensor. Now, nowadays, they don't just freely come out and say, oops, excuse me, oh, well, we'll cover all pumps. But we won that, and I felt a little bit more pride. But that was something we worked towards. I knew the answers. I knew what we were going to get asked, and we knew it. A lot of times, the doctors will just ask you a question, and I'm out of it. And a lot of times, you're sick in bed. You're kind of like, oh, okay, you either have DKA or you have low blood sugar. And I've been sort of forced into programs that didn't work for me. Now, for a while there, I was put on metformin. And metformin is a drug that many people call the evil drug. But I was put on it because they thought it's a type 2 drug, but it could help me. Okay. I didn't sort of believe it. I ended up having the runs, every side effect I had of it. I went back once and I said, this isn't working. Oh, well, give it a little bit more of a try. Okay. And then I went back a week and a half later and said, this has got to stop. And we stopped it, and things started to work better. Once I stopped it and said, I'm not taking it anymore, we got into a better situation. I'd be lucky that the team I've chosen has supported me more than not. They've always supported me, and we've talked through situations. Before going to this pump, before going from the 770 to 780, I may have the pump numbers screwed up. They have so many different varieties. But we talked through it. I knew what was to expect of it. But you have to be prepared and know your devices. I know my devices, but still, I think sometimes that I'm going to have to ask for questions before, if they have questions, that I'm able to answer. Because I sit here and I go, da, 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 da. I'm the worst advocate for me. We talked a bit before about when should I go to the hospital, and I think it's my thinking along that line as well. When do we actually go for help? And when you don't and you end up going, you feel, if you're wrong and saying, oh, well, you shouldn't have been here, that really makes you feel bad. Another point that is, I was in high acuity unit at Royal Columbian. And while I was there, a doctor came in and said, what are you doing here? You're not sick enough. Okay, fine. Well, you tell me where. I said, well, we're going to have to send you somewhere else. Okay, where? No one's been able to solve any of these conditions. So where the hell are we going to go? I don't know. That just came out of me. But being told that you're in the wrong place, you're doing something wrong, just kind of puts up an edge, saying, well, we think you could do this by this, doesn't really work for me. So think, how do you fight? Are you great at adverse situations, or are you like me? Come up with a game plan that works for you. Have a great day, and we'll talk later. Bye. My email address is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. All one line. Drop me